So this just transpired. Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers was just taken off of Twitter because Naughty Dog decided to once again misuse DMCA copyright striking. Can you freaking believe this? They have learned absolutely nothing from it. The media, they will cover nothing on it. People, they need to make enough noise to make sure that this kind of stuff, it is not forgotten. So hey there. Now before we get started, this is our second comic. Another case for the Littlest Umbrella. Link is in the description. And it was given a 30-day extension. Now, this is the way that we're going to fight companies that are in all of these things. We're going to go out, we're going to create our own products, or we're going to walk away. I'm not giving up to these people. We created our own thing. Maybe you'll check that out, and more of that in the end of the video. Now, when we're talking about this, I want to make two things perfectly clear. Number one, Naughty Dog is not only going out and silencing criticism, they're doing that by flagrantly, and I'm talking flagrantly, misusing the DMCA to shut down and stifle opinions. Number two, they're not doing this to just randos out there. They're attacking independent businesses to do this. See, make no mistake, this isn't Jeremy, some rando guy out there that's getting shut down because he used a meme. No, this is Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers. He had 23.5 thousand followers on his account, and it has been denied him because a company wanted to go out and again flagrantly misuse DMCA. See, they don't like what this guy's been saying because he's not following the corporate line. Now, we're talking about the corporate lockstep, and these people, they won't get stricken because they talk about this, by the way. You can see a perfect example of that from Forbes here. This, by the way, has gotten 82,660 views because this will sell games. And you notice what it's saying here. The Last of Us Part 2 reviews say it's the best PS4 exclusive with 44 perfect scores. 44 freaking perfect scores. Imagine the companies that had to review for that. Now read this with me too. I mean, man, this is insane. I figured the reviews would be good, but now that the embargo has been lifted for PS4's The Last of Us Part 2, it's become clear that it's not just good, it's yet another game of the generation. Game of the generation. Just in time to close out this latest console era. The Last of Us Part 2 currently has a 96 on both Metacritic and OpenCritic, a deeply impressive score that reflects 44 perfect 10 out of 10s from various outlets, including heavy hitters like IGN and Game Informer. The 96 makes it the best reviewed PS4 exclusive of the entire generation, putting it above Persona 5 Royal with a 95, God of War with a 94, Metal Gear Solid 5 with a 93, and Uncharted 4 with a 93. It also a tick above The Last of Us Remastered at a 95, and the only two PlayStation 4 games to score higher than that are Red Dead Redemption at a 97 and GTA 5 also at a 97. Now, as far as those friendly media outlets are concerned, none of them have to worry about the same thing like a Jeremy would have to worry about when he puts together a video or he talks about this game. See, if you look out there, you'll find plenty of articles talking about this stuff. They're going to talk about the controversy. They're going to talk about the leaks within this. And you know what never happens to them? They never find themselves silenced. Why? Because they're friendly outlets. They're giving perfect scores. Another thing that is absolutely insane about this, too, is you won't find articles covering the flagrant misuse of DMCA from that company either. All of these companies, they're pretending that none of this stuff is happening, and you better believe that they know that this stuff is happening too. They're just out there saying, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Therefore, doesn't happen to us, so it doesn't matter. Now, if you're on the other side of that, God forbid you're one of those wrong thinkers, well, Naughty Dog, apparently, they can shut you down with impunity. That's what all of these platforms have been saying. This stuff, it started on YouTube. You saw many a person getting struck because they were talking about leaks. They didn't have to show anything. They were just talking about it. In fact, I'd been waiting for that to happen because you know what? They were going out and they were flagrantly misusing DMCA. Now that stuff, it got turned around on YouTube. But on other platforms, well, it's not been the same thing. Here you can see Jeremy from, again, D-Day Cobra, Geeks and Gamers, talking about Naughty Dog. Why F Naughty Dog? Because they tried to take his freaking YouTube away, and well, he's been talking about the game ever since. Here you can see him talking about his account being locked. What happened there? Well, your account has been locked because Twitter received a complaint about the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or the DMCA, notice for content posted to your Twitter account. Under the DMCA, copyright owners can notify Twitter claiming that a user has infringed their copyrighted works. Upon receipt of a valid DMCA notice, Twitter will remove the identified material. So you don't have to really violate anything in this. All you have to do is go out and have a company not like what you're doing. They go and they narc on you to Twitter, and you know what Twitter's going to do? They're going to bail on you. They're going to make sure that they bury you, and they're going to do this for companies, of course, that they have ties to as advertisers and on. Makes that a little questionable. No. Twitter, it continues, maintains a repeat copyright infringer policy upon which repeat infringer accounts will be suspended. Accruing multiple DMCA strikes may lead to your suspension of your account. So there's the other part in this. As they go out and they continue to false flag you, even if you're starting to win those, well, you know what's going to pile up on you? Twitter is. They're going to keep stock of that. They're going to say, you're one of those terrible wrong thinkers, and we're going to get rid of you. And that's exactly what you're seeing in this. After repeat violations, because, oh my God, this guy wouldn't back down. He wouldn't get with the right think opinion. Yeah, they had to silence and stifle him. Now, what's amazing about this, too, like I was saying, is this stuff, it has been going on for months. And again, this has been met with silence. Could you imagine if the Washington Post got hit this way, or the USA Today? They would be having none of this. There would be some huge outcry from the media. But because it's just those poor, pesky YouTubers with wrong think opinions, well, they don't merit anything because they're competition. This also, it goes on in Twitter as well. You can see Pimp Master Broda talking about this. And by the way, if you've never checked out Pimp Master Broda, you definitely should. Absolutely hilarious material. But they're noting here that not only did they get hit, but they got hit multiple times, and they got hit for their own picture. Naughty Dog and Sony are still filing frivolous DMCAs over memes, because you got to shut down the memes. Just got hit with 3 in one tweet for having a heavily photoshopped Abby from The Last of Us 2 next to photos of myself. Each was individually DMCA'd. So think about that. Not only did they hit Abby from The Last of Us 2. They say that that's their material, you can't mess with it. But they also struck a picture of Pimp Master Broda themselves because, hey, you got to shut that down as well. So yes, they continue, I am so muscular that Naughty Dog mistaked my photos for Abby. They go on with this too and say, as a private bisexual, I'd like to say that Naughty Dog is full of bigots for these silly DMCAs. Disney wasn't even dumb enough to behave like this for their last movie in the Star Wars set. That's very true. When the plot linked, get bent sideways creeps. And yeah, it was a Photoshop of Abby that got me strikes, but they also DMC'd both photos of myself. Therefore, they must think that I'm Abby. They went after his actual pictures in there. Isn't that crazy? See, this kind of stuff here, it says there's a bigger problem than them just going out and making terrible games to appease to the right think crowd. This says that they think that anyone out there that doesn't walk lockstep, they can shut down. So let your wallet speak accordingly. That's why I talk about having alternatives within comic books and having alternatives in other media, because this is not acceptable. So anyway, go out, tell D-Day Cobra, hey man, I'm with you, because nobody deserves this kind of garbage. Now, ending this too, speaking of alternatives, this is our thing within the comic book industry. Not the same type of industry, but this is what's gotten a lot of us out there and doing our own thing. This is another case for the Littlest Umbrella. This is 40 pages of all ages, Lovecraftian goodness in full color. We had 30 days on it. It had a 30-day extension, and there's a link in the description. This keeps us sponsored are free and beholden to no one, so we don't have to go out and stifle our opinions like people have for that game. We can go and take on that mainstream. We can make the crazies know that they can't stop us, and we can put out a good product to boot. Join us in that. We could definitely use your help, and I want to say thank you. I do appreciate you. You empower these endeavors. These companies, they have forgotten that, so wake them up to it. And again, thank you. Appreciate you. Later.